Borchers has been trimming trash and decorating discards forever. Perhaps you know her as Eco Heidi, or you know her as my sister. Today she is sharing the coolest ideas with window screen. That's right, window screen. I'm delighted to welcome Heidi Borchers. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, everybody. Bear with me. I have a new tripod that's up really high, and I want to make sure that it gets my table, so I've got it where it's chopping my head off. Today, we're working with window screen, and I'm working with 3 different kinds of window screen today, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as I go along. So, and it's blue because I put tape on it. This is part of the kit. I put tape on it so you don't get hurt, because some of these are kind of have rough edges. So let me get my camera down and we'll get started on showing you what you can do with all these cool window screens. Here we go. Now, the first one I'm going to do, Tiffany, if you would put up that first screen of the vintage, this is the vintage one. This one has been around for years and years, and it's actually made out of the aluminum window screen. And the cool thing about this one, too, is that all the things that put it together are actually fishing lures. Excuse me. They're fishing lures. There we go. So I'm going to show you first the aluminum screening. And you know, I had a lot of trouble finding the aluminum screening in my area. So that's kind of what made me think about putting together a kit for you, because I didn't want you to have as much trouble finding it. So first of all, I'm using just a piece of the window screen. And I have put on a pattern just with like a Sharpie. Now what I do, let's see if I can get this up where you can see it. What I do is I just usually take with wax paper here, and I follow along like so and just go right over my line. Okay, then you need to, well, that wasn't very straight. You need to let that dry, and then when you pull it off, it's going to be, let's get a black thing here. You can kind of see the dried glue around there. Now, when you pull it off, let's see where my other little pieces are here. Oops. Usually, you're going to find some little edges that you have to cut. Here's one here that the edges, because you don't want those edges. See that little edge down there at the bottom? So you're going to want to cut that. And a lot of times after I pull it off of my wax paper, I also find that sometimes it needs another a coat of glue. Now here's another little tip too. In order to get these to dry, if you're going to put a second coat on them, let me move this aside for a second. When I set them aside to dry, I will take a pin and I will pin them into a box so that they can just kind of dangle like that. That's about the only way that you can get them to dry when you put like a second coat on them. See? Now, on the ones that Tiffany showed you on that one picture, I just took and connected just in the little open places of the screen. I put the little fishing lure. If you can't find the fishing lure, I went to try and find fishing lure in my area, and they said that they don't sell any fishing gear here in this area because the fishermen can't fish here anymore, and we live right by the ocean. So use like a chain or use like a jump ring. Okay, so then that was the first one. That was the aluminum screen, and this is how it comes. And now, Tiffany, number 2 photo is an updated version of what I did, and it's the one with the hearts too, using the aluminum screening. There it is. That's the hearts. And that's just kind of an updated version. It's the same technique, putting the glue around it. And then when I painted it, let me show you how to paint it. I'm going to just paint one of these triangles with like the copper or the silver. Let's do copper. And put a little bit of paint there. And all I do is use one of the facial sponges, and I just go like this. Just go around very, very easily. And it's the same thing on the hearts. Oops. just go around, and you'll notice when I pick this up that where the extra paint is, it's a good thing. That it looks really cool. Let's get the black up here. See how cool that looks? And you can see I need a little bit more paint on it. That looks kind of cool like this. Oh, I do see there that they're talking about, I forgot to tell you how to cut the screen. I use this kind of heavy-duty, it's kind of like a metal cutter. Also, I use like tin snips. And you know, I have even used my, excuse me, my scissors from the dollar store. And you can use those for a while. They work on it great. Little sip of tea here. Okay, the next screen is this wonderful, it's kind of a fiberglass with a plastic coating. And I had some students in here the other day, and one lady said, because I couldn't figure out, why would you use this for screening on your windows? You can't even see out of it. She said it was actually made for cats, so that cats couldn't scratch the screen. I thought that was really cool. Anyway, what I made with that was, Tiffany, if you'll show photo number 3, I think that's the rolled beads. And yeah, the rolled beads are the ones that go right up through the center, and then also the necklace that has all the little beads on it that's kind of flat things. That's made out of the plastic coated fiberglass. And let me get this out of the way for a second. Okay, this is all done. This is done on the fiberglass, and I'm going to show you the roll beads because basically these are just. Let's see if we have time to do this. I just actually dip these into paint and then let them dry. I thought that was kind of cool. I call this my art palette because it just looked like it came right from my palette. Okay, the roll beads. You need a dimensional paint and the screening. And let's see if I can just do it here for you. And remember, always test your dimensional paint. And you're going to just go right along. And this is your back side. I'm doing it on the back side. And just keep putting your colors. You just put your colors. I'll turn it over in just a second. And then I turn it over. See how it has a really nice look. Now there was a place that it missed a little bit, but that's okay. I go and fill the whole thing. And then when they're dry, I actually roll them on a knitting needle. And I use a little bit of hot glue to keep them like that. And let me see, they're right here. You can kind of see where they are. And these are just little squares of it. Now I think I have a couple more minutes. I also have this. This is a kind of a little treasure bag. And Tiffany has another picture of this too. And this is made, again, with the screen that is the fiberglass, the plastic coated. And it has, and all I did was weave. Just kind of, you know, I didn't do any kind of pattern. And the thing that's cool about this is, if any of you used to use like that plastic, what was the plastic things that we showed so much on the TV, the plastic canvas. This is kind of like that, but it's really skinnier. You can't really do like counting on it, but it's so cool to use, and it's very flexible, and you can do it in all kinds of colors. You can do it bigger, and because it bends and everything, it doesn't break. Very, very cool. And one more here. I think it's the last one, Tiffany, of the tag, if you'll show that picture. This is my last screen here that I'm showing. And this is kind of it's a really coarse screen. It's much like hardware cloth. But I liked it because it was a thicker texture. And then also the heart on there is the one that is the plastic coated screen with a painting. But I really, really liked the fact that I could get a lot more texture on it. So here's that a little bit closer. And I also took some of the screen. I'll turn this over. I took some of the screen, and I just glued some little things that I got out of a magazine and then some beads. And so this is the fiberglass, and then this bigger stuff. So I made a really cool tag to put something, on some mixed media or something. So I think my time is about up, so I can take some questions, and I will be back later. If you have any more, I'll show you more. Thanks.